Good evening, dear viewers of Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much for choosing us. You made the right choice. First, our major stories. Blood continues to spill in the conflict Anglophone regions of Cameroon. Another separatist attack leaves 3 civilians and 2 security elements dead in Tuba subdivision, Mezim division in the northwest region of the country. And away from that, we'll tell you how a tenant-landlord confrontation turns deadly. A landlord gets killed by 2 of his tenants at the Japoma neighborhood right here in the city of Douala. Both suspects are currently the dragnet of security forces. Those are major stories. Stay with us for details and more. If you're just joining us, then know you're watching the 6 p.m. primetime newscast, and for presentation, I am Immaculate Fogwe. Another separatist attack in Bambui, Tuba subdivision, northwest region of the country, leaves 5 people dead. The deadly attack took place around CHS Bambui at 8 p.m. this Tuesday. Local sources say the armed separatists shot at close range 2 security forces and 3 civilians. AC Lucy Liengu has the details.
It was around 8 p.m. on Tuesday, 14th of May, that alleged separatist fighters stormed the town of Bambui, Tuba subdivision, shooting 4 persons. Sources say among the 4 people killed are 2 government forces who were in a drinking spot around the comprehensive high school, Bambui. After drinking, the 2 government forces, dressed in civilian clothes, were on their way home when they were surprised by the suspected armed separatist fighters shooting them at close range. A woman and her daughter, who were a few meters away at a mobile money kiosk, received the stray bullets. The woman died on the spot, while her injured daughter was rushed to the hospital by the local population. The 2 security forces, the bar owner and the woman, lost their lives in another separatist attack. This attack comes less than a week after 5 Cameroonian soldiers were killed in a Umojok, Mamfe, in the southwest region of the country. Separatist attacks in the 2 English-speaking regions continue to multiply, leaving the inhabitants in fear of who will be next.
One major question many have been asking: when will these atrocities, burnings and killings end? We are yet to answer that. Away from that, a landlord gets killed by his tenant early this morning in the Japoma neighborhood in Douala. The landlord was reportedly killed after demanding several months of unpaid rents. Malaglory visited a family compound in Japoma, and she now completes the story for the 6 p.m. news.
This are grieving the death of their father as panic grips the entire neighborhood. Louis-Marie Pierre Tadi Major was simply trying to collect his rent from 2 of his tenants this Wednesday morning. We were told the renters have missed some months' payment and have been giving the landlords problems. So the owner of the house, alongside his eldest son, decided to meet the tenant. Early today, about 4 a.m., he decided to visit those tenants who often leave the house early every morning, just so he could meet them home. He got up and left with his son. The son explained that it was in a tense atmosphere that both exchanged blows, which turned sour. He was going towards the door when the other tenant pushed him to the wall. I then ran towards my father and pushed the tenant away, while the second man came towards me, pressing my neck. I succeeded to push him and I stunned him. That was how he took a ladder and hit my father, who started bleeding. According to the wife of the 50-year-old man and the quarter head, the 2 tenants have been threatening to leave without paying their rents, a situation which forced the landlord, who is known by his neighbors as a calm and peaceful man, to file several complaints against the 2 tenants. The convocations were given to each of them and they were to present themselves before the court on Monday. I have intervened in several cases when the tenant threatened him. Some even left with his money, but I advised him to stay calm and let it go, which he always listens. The suspected killers have been arrested for questioning while the deceased has been deposited at the Lokbaba District Hospital.
Here in the city of Douala, after several warnings, municipal authorities have decided to punish cattle rearers who leave their animals to wander on the streets, causing havoc. Several sheep caught moving astray were slaughtered today by the authorities. The decision aims to serve as a warning to persons who allow their goats, sheep and other animals to wander about. We have details with Innocent Aze.
Due to negligence and stubbornness of their masters, they are being slaughtered by the Douala City Council authorities as a way to enforce the Douala Clean City operation. These 16 sheep were caught moving astray in Bonapiso, New Bell and other vicinities in the city of Douala, despite warnings from the governor of the Littoral region, SDO for the Wuri, and the Douala City Council mayor.
The gathering of sheep and goats around the city is not a good idea, and some measures have been taken, and what you saw today is just a tip of what is going to be done regularly if people don't respect these measures. What has been done today is actually to create awareness because the governor of the Littoral region and with the city mayor, they are actually trying to put things together so that our city should be modernized.
At least 5 sheep from these herds kept at the municipal pound in Yupwe for over a week now were killed on Wednesday, with the mutant to be served to the needy.
The sheep that have been killed today that are going to be offered to orphanage and also to the central prison New Bell here in Douala.
Those pets can only escape untimely death if their masters come for their freedom with proofs of ownership.
This one is the final measure we can take for them to be aware. Actually, it's not only for those who have the sheep here, but all those that we are going to find around the city of Douala with sheep around all the corner, moving around the city.
No duration has been given as deadline for identification and collection. The City Council agents did not spell out items to be presented as proofs of ownership, but claim will be tactical to ensure anyone presenting himself does not go away with a sheep not duly his. Anyone with tangible proofs will pay a penalty of 25,000 francs CFA.
And now we talk something else. Catholic Christians in the Archdiocese of Kongsamba have been told to register on the electoral list because it is their civic duty. The call was made by the Bishop of Kongsamba, His Lordship Détenons Espoir Tangana, after a pastoral visit to the St. John Mary Vianney Parish in Loum in the Mungo Division of the Littoral region. Elekam officials were present at the parish premises to permit Christians get themselves registered. Annabella reports.
At the St. John Mary Vianney Parish in Loum in the Mungo Division, Elekam officials with their loudspeakers call on Christians who just ended a pontifical Holy Mass to register for next year's elections. They are being encouraged by the Bishop for the Kongsamba Diocese, Monseigneur Détenons Espoir Tangana, who was there for a pastoral visit.
C'est un devoir citoyen qui par le fait même coïncide avec notre vocation chrétienne.
The bishop says it is a civil responsibility and it coincides with our Christian vocation for justice in the world. Members of Elekam set up their gadgets at the corner of the parish house and are busy registering Catholic Christians freely.
Je crois que c'est une façon aussi pour eux de répondre à les vocations des citoyens d'une nation.
The parish priest of the St. John Mary Vianney Parish in Loum, Reverend Father Donatien Forcing adds that it's a duty and it's imperative. It's a way for Christians to respond to their Christian vocation to the nation, and the church is supposed to encourage them. Political parties such as the MPC and political party were also out on the fields in Jombe to ensure that Cameroonians massively register on the electoral registers, and they appreciate the fact that they are being accompanied by the Catholic Church, especially the Diocese of Kongsamba.
Away from religion, we now talk education, as a sharp increase in the number of pupils who sat in for the entrance examination to government grammar and technical colleges was noticed this year in Kumba, Memet Division of the Southwest region. And in Banga, Mungo Division, principals of Government Technical High School and Government Bilingual High School have requested that authorities rehabilitate the roads leading to the school and also build a school fence in that part of the country. Smajikan Gabriel tells us more.
3 different primary school campuses: Government Primary School Kumba Town, Government School Ekemba Fiango, and Government Bilingual Primary School Kumbambeng hosted the entrance examinations into government grammar and technical colleges in Kumba. If the inspectors of basic education for Kumba 2 and 3 had the similar experience at their centers.
We had some challenges because, as usual, children came late due to their parents were not at fault, and even some teachers. But before 8 o'clock, we handled the situation and all of us were in their various centers.
We still have some candidates coming in now. They obviously will write the exams. We give them the space to write the exams. We cannot keep them out.
That of Kumba 1 was exceptional.
We've had no problems since morning. Parents have been coming with their children, and when they come, we stop them at the gate and allow the children to come in.
Due to the insecurity situation of pupils at Kumba 3, pupils from that subdivision wrote under Kumba 1, alongside some pupils who were brought in from Zikume Balwe of Njan Division. In a whole, the 3 subdivisions witnessed an increase in the number of pupils who registered. In Mbanga, Mongo Division of the Littoral Region, the Government Bilingual High School and Government Technical High School campus were the centers for the examinations. The exams went on hitch-free, but the principals are begging for some work to be done on the main roads and also a fence to be constructed for security purposes for next academic year. The main entrance into the college is very bad. Our school needs a fence. The results for the entrance examination into government grammar and technical colleges are expected to be out in the days ahead.
And we stay in the Mungo Division, as inhabitants of Dikuma 1 are sending distress calls to the government to help them out of their challenges. Their challenges include poor road network, water shortage, lack of electricity, and other basic amenities. AC Luciliangu takes us to Dikuma 1 in her report.
For decades, the inhabitants of Dikoma 1 in the Mungo Division littoral region have been living in precarious conditions. The roads in this village are dilapidated and made up of hills, making circulation difficult for the inhabitants. A patriarch of Dikoma 1 says, aside the poor road networks, they lack electricity and water. Students in this village suffer to study at night due to the absence of electricity. Furthermore, in this village, developmental projects have not been realized. As a result, several infrastructures are outdated. A pastor regrets the fact that Christians fellowship in dilapidated church buildings, putting at risk their lives. The poor living conditions faced by the people has forced many to migrate to other regions where they can find light. The natives of Dikoma 1 are calling on their elites and government authorities to respond to their distress calls.
And now out of our national frontiers, South Africa's building death toll rises to 33 as crew find more bodies. Meantime, labor unions in Nigeria staged a nationwide protest on Monday over a recent increase in electricity bills following the removal of subsidies by the West African nation's government. Details of this story with our reporter, Cedric Chakutio.
In South Africa, the tragic toll of the George building collapse has reached 33, with the recovery of 8 more victims. Currently, 20 individuals remain unaccounted, while 13 are receiving medical care in hospitals. Despite a week passing since the multi-story building collapsed, the cause of this devastating event remains elusive, prompting ongoing rescue efforts and investigations by Western Cape authorities.
The mission is continuing as fast as possible and as careful as possible, but hopefully and we believe there's a possibility that there could be more lives down there.
Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Sihil Zikalala has acknowledged the government's limited knowledge regarding the main contractor responsible for the collapsed structure. This absence of information is legally permissible as the company is not mandated to register with the Construction Industry Development Board when working for private clients. However, Minister Zikalala highlights the need for regulatory improvement, citing the CIDB Amendment Bill as a measure to enhance compliance and enforcement within the construction sector. Elsewhere, the unions, made up of government workers, were picketing offices of public electricity utilities in major cities as they asked authorities to counteract prices that have worsened the country's cost of living crisis.
Every protest has its own peculiarities, and when you look at this one, it is very special because it touches on the fabric of the economy, because power is life, power is the mainstay of Nigerian economy.
Electricity rates more than doubled for some consumers in April, while the government will save at least $788 million in subsidies this year. It is the latest measure taken by President Bola Tinubu's government to cut costs as Africa's most populous country struggles with declining revenue due to dwindling investments and chronic oil thefts.
And still on our foreign page, at least 4 people were rescued from the rubble of a collapsed building in the Mathare neighborhood in Kenya. Meantime, former Gabonese President Ali Bongo goes on hunger strike to denounce acts of torture meted on his family. Details of the story once more with Cedric Chakutio.
Elsewhere, former President of Gabon, Ali Bongo, began a hunger strike to denounce the torture of which several members of his family were victims. Supported by his 2 other sons, Jalil and Balal Bongo, also under house arrest, Bongo protests against the barbaric act of which his wife, Sylvia Bongo, and his son and close advisor, Nuruddin, are victims. According to the Bongo family lawyers, Nuruddin was subjected to inhuman abuse, ranging from whippings and electric torture with a teaser to strangulation and beatings with blunt objects such as a hammer and a crowbar. Sylvia was reportedly beaten and strangled. A complaint was filed to Paris to obtain the appointment of an investigating judge responsible for investigating these allegations. The first Ipon complaint filed by Sylvia Bongo last September had already been dismissed. Remember, Ali Bongo Ondimba lost power following a coup d'etat led by General Brice Oligui Nguema in August 2023.
That's it for the first part. Talking Point is up next. My guest tonight on Talking Point is Martin Tanjong. He is the mayor of a Tuba municipality over there in the Mesam Division, Northwest region of Cameroon. Good evening. It is a pleasure having you on Talking Point tonight. The town of Bambui seems to be a major epicenter of attacks. Can you please enlighten us more on the most recent attack that occurred last night?
Well, as I'm telling you that, those who committed the offense were not all of Tuba. They come from other places. Sometimes Stella, they always say, oh, it's Amber, it's this, that. Today you cannot know Amber, you cannot know armed robbers. The whole thing is in the name of Amber. So we don't even know who is who. Because sometimes, just yesterday, we were discussing somewhere and around the afternoon before that incident, and we're talking about the peace that is reigning around Tuba. And somebody was telling us that when the Bamboo community had their fundraising, on Sunday morning, somebody got up and threatened that as they have gone and collected money in the palace for the development of that community, they will kill everybody in that palace. So that information will go to the SLA. And this morning, I was trying to find out from my deputy that come from that area until this news break to all of us. So presently, what we need to do and what we are calling on the population of Toba to do is to shun from this type of ungodly activity. Then keep friends that are not friends that you know them well. Let them not use Toba like the harbor for banditrism. Let them not. If anybody in any subdivision wants to do any action, let them do it in their subdivision. Does it talk well that youth of the same community will come out and slaughter their own people? That woman and the daughter, that businessman, was he carrying a gun? They said they came through force of law and order. Well, the force of law and order will judge themselves what they were doing at that time. But then, what of the civilians who are members of that local community? Let's say that the youth were from that community. How can you come to slaughter your own people? And when these things started, they said you want to protect their people and give them new life. Is that protecting and giving new life to your people? By killing the same people that you want to protect? By not allowing them to live? By not allowing them to do business? By not allowing them to go to the market? They don't go to market, they don't go to farm, they cannot do anything. Each time they show their head, they meet with the guns, and their lives go to the graves. So it's so disheartening, my sister, that it's happening like this at the time of where we thought I was almost saying that all is over as Toba is concerned. Because I don't want to name the rest of the communities, but you will bear with me that the rest of the Toba is very calm and orderly.
Mayor Martin Tanjong would like to know from you, what is the state of mind of the population of Bambui following this deadly attack?
The whole population is at unrest. The whole Toba people are sad. They are worried. They don't know what to do. They don't know their way about. They don't know what is happening. It's a big shock because for some time now we have had some time. When we heard of what happened in Yomujo, we thought it is going that way and it's ending. We did not know that ours will come in the next minute. That has come. So if I tell that the people of Toba are at peace, no, it's not a true story. They are all managing to live because they have to live. It is a very big shock. So I'm still appealing. I'm still appealing to the youths, to the population of Toba, to beware of who is around them, to beware of who is on a bike, to beware of the backriders that are doing bikes in this municipality. We have some uniforms shared to the bike for free. They still not put them on because most of them are those who are perpetrating this ungodly act.
We are a few days to the 20th May celebration, and we are quite aware that such days are marked by lockdown announcements and counterattacks from both separatists and the military. How do you plan celebrating a day in your municipality in the midst of all these security challenges?
Well, in the Toba municipality, we are very prepared and ready for the 20th May celebration, as usual. We don't have anything that is an obstacle to that particular activity. But unfortunately, last evening, the unforeseen happened. The breaking this morning, we start getting very sad news that people were assassinated around CHS in Bambui in the Toba municipality, which was a very big surprise to us because we have taken enough measures to sensitize our youths to stay clear of this banditrism. Because we have done all we can to create small activities, small jobs that can keep these youth busy. But we still find a group of youths that are still in this tough mode. It's so disheartening. I can't believe that. And when I followed on the social media, the language that was being used by the youth that actually finally shot somebody twice was not one of the languages of Toba subdivision. It means that youth from other. I don't want to call where it comes from. I don't want to call where it comes from. They want to call where he come from because I follow the language and it was not the language that is spoken in Tuba. I mean, that youth, one of that young men that got that committed that offense were not of this origin, were not of Tuba extraction. They come from other neighboring subdivisions, which to me is a terrible thing. We still have to blame ourselves in Tuba. Then why are they using our communities like their harbor? Because we're giving them the chance to do that. If we have to go back, the past 2 hours, firebrand in 2018, 2019. From 2020, 2021, it started going down to a very green area. But for this community, like each once and three in every fortnight, we hear one small thing. Oh, this one has happened here. But we should learn from the other communities to copy the attitude of living happily and living together. I don't see why this community is being always at the limelight when it comes to banditism. I don't see why. And I don't see any reason why, because we have 7 villages that make up the Tuba municipality. We have this problem coming up from one area. What is happening? That's a question. That's a very big question. What is happening?
Now, are you convinced that the population will come out in their numbers to celebrate National Unity Day despite the security challenges?
Yeah, the mobilization, each and everyone is aware. But for this tragic incident that just occurred, that is going to bring in some fear again, people of Tuba were always mobilized. We know that since 2016, we have hosted 3 giant public occasions. The university games that took place here under a very tense situation and successfully went through. We received the Minister of Youth Affairs here in Tuba. We received the Minister of Public Works here in Tuba to prove to you that our people are always mobilized and ready to answer the call of the state.
Finally, what message do you have for the population given the prevailing circumstances?
Calling on the population of Tuba to be very calm and law-abiding, God-fearing, that they should know that the man you are killing is a man that you need in your life. That no blood should leak anymore in this municipality. That even if a devilish mind has to leave somewhere and come to this place, it should be sent back to go to where it comes from. That we are not ready for any blood-thirsty demons to keep on coming and share and spilling the blood of our people. That all of us should come out like at mass to denounce all those type of activities.
Thank you so much, Mayor Martin Tanjong, for being part of Talking Point tonight. And that's where we'll put a cap to today's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Thank you so much for your keen attention. Stay in the company of more interesting programs on Equinoxe Television. Up next is Equinoxe. See you tomorrow, same time, God willing, same hour.